Hey, everybody out there in the world, wherever you are. I've been thinking and wanted to share some of what I've been talking about during my travels. I'm going to talk about the miracle of persistence, the lessons from a people who refuse to disappear. And I think it's interesting in an age when entire civilizations we have witnessed throughout history that have risen and fallen, when empires have crumbled to dust, and when languages have vanished into silence, there exists a phenomenon that challenges our understanding of history. Yisrael, the Jewish people, represents something unprecedented in human experience. A small nation that has not merely survived but has advanced and at times thrived through nearly 4 millennia, which included persecutions, exiles, inquisitions, and attempted annihilations we're all very much aware of. This is not a story per se of military might or territorial dominance. It is something far more profound to the power of ideas, to community, to education, to the unshakable commitment to human dignity that offers lessons in our troubled world. Consider the historical record. The pharaohs of the ancient Egypt enslaved them, that is, Am Yisrael, and they maintained their faith throughout 400 years of slavery, finding their freedom and their way back home. The Babylonians exiled Am Yisrael in 586 before the Common Era, scattering communities across the ancient world, and yet Am Yisrael preserved their traditions and advanced them in diaspora, returning nonetheless to rebuild our temple in Jerusalem, Yerushalayim. And when the Romans destroyed the second temple in 70 of the Common Era, we're talking about 600 years later or so, and scattered Am Yisrael across continents, we not only maintained our cultural unity for nearly 2,000 years, having forgotten Zion, praying to Jerusalem, without a homeland, we nonetheless advanced, producing literature, culture, traditions, and an evolving theology that could exist outside our central place of worship in Jerusalem, Yerushalayim. And most remarkably, after the Nazis systematically murdered 6 million of our brothers and sisters, our ancestors, our grandparents, our family members, throughout humanity's darkest chapter in the modern era, we rose from the ashes and we returned home to rebuild both our ancient homeland and, by extension, thriving communities worldwide. Surrounded by hostile neighbors and multiple conflicts since 1948, the reemergence of the modern nation-state of Israel, the decolonization of the land, we not merely survived, but we built the Middle East's only functioning democracy. This pattern of resilience defies conventional historical logic. Nations typically disappear when faced with far less adversity. What explains this extraordinary persistence? Again, the answer is not merely in military strategy or geographic advantage, but something far more fundamental. It lies in the cultivation of human potential, ethical reflection, innovative thinking, education, maintaining hope, belief, choosing life, choosing light. Our small numbers, our small nation, Am Yisrael, numbering fewer than 15 million globally, we produce an astonishing array of contributions to human civilization. With Einstein revolutionizing our understanding of the universe, Kafka illuminating the human condition through literature, Marx analyzing the forces shaping modern economics, Spinoza advancing philosophical thought, Freud mapping the landscape of the human psyche, and so much more. And this pattern, of course, continues to this day. Israeli innovations in technology, medicine, and agriculture benefit people worldwide. From desalination systems bringing water to dry, drought-stricken regions, to medical breakthroughs that save lives across all nations and faiths. Perhaps most remarkably, we've transformed a largely barren desert into a technological powerhouse without oil wealth or natural resources, water, relying instead on education, innovation, democratic institutions, and the drive to choose life, to struggle, and make meaning out of it. We produce more scientific papers per capita than any other nation. We lead in water technology, and we've created a startup ecosystem that rivals Silicon Valley. Every one of these monstrosities of high-tech and technology companies, Google, Schmoogle, Microsoft, Yahoo, you name it, their R&D offices, well, they're based here in Israel. The transformation represents more than economic success. It demonstrates that human flourishing can emerge most likely from undeniably difficult and challenging circumstances when sustained by the drive, by the right values, by community, by respect for life, by choosing life. Today, our people, Am Yisrael, an ancient people, we face challenges on multiple fronts. Regional conflicts, internal divisions, and the complexities of modern governance, testing our resilience in all kinds of ways. And yet, our response continues to reflect the same qualities that enabled our ancestors to preserve our identity through a millennia of all that we've been faced with. Adaptability without losing core principles, innovation in the face of adversity, and an unwavering commitment to peoplehood, to education, to human dignity, to ensuring that better days are ahead. Our story offers a crucial lesson for our polarized world. Survival is not merely about physical persistence, but about maintaining our highest values even under extreme pressure. The ultimate test of this resilience is not measured by military victories or economic indicators, both of whom perhaps we succeed at times, but whether or not we can help bridges rather than build walls. The innovations and achievements that have emerged from our small nation could benefit all humanity when channeled through peace and partnership rather than conflict. The true miracle would be if all peoples in the Middle East, Arabs, Muslims, Christians, Jews, and everyone else, if we could find paths to mutual understanding, cooperation, and shared prosperity. Our experience, that is, of Am Yisrael, suggests that it is possible. A people who have thrived in diaspora for centuries, we understand the need for flourishing, for human flourishing, and it need not come at another's expense. Our story, the story of Am Yisrael, is ultimately not just about one people, but about human possibility itself. We demonstrate that with the right values, education, ethical reflection, innovation, and hope, even the tiniest, the smallest of communities can contribute enormously to human progress. We show that cultural identity can be preserved without isolation, that strength can coexist with compassion, and that the response to hatred need not be hatred in return. In our current moment of global uncertainty, when many are tempted by authoritarianism, nationalism, and the politics of fear, we, this ancient people's commitment to democratic values, intellectual freedom, and human dignity, we offer a different path, another way forward. Our persistence throughout history's darkest chapters reminds us that human dignity is not a luxury for peaceful times, but a necessity for survival itself. It is what enables us, not just endurance, but transformation, turning exile into innovation, persecution into compassion, and the threat of extinction into a flowering of human potential. This is indeed, we are a people whose story defies any easy explanation. We stand proof that in a world that is governed by the logic of power, that the power of ideas, of unwavering hope, of education, can prove mightier than the mightiest of empires. We've seen them rise and fall. Our miracle is not that we survived, but that we transformed survival itself. into a gift to all humanity. Though we find ourselves at the intersection of history, of light and darkness, of what is right and what is wrong, where we see society in the West crumbling in the face of illiberalism and illogical approaches to understanding what is right and what is wrong, we look back to our history, we find inspiration, and we stand atop the shoulders of our ancestors so that we can see further ahead and imagine what kind of ancestors are we going to be. Each and every one of us ought to be asking ourselves, what are we doing to ensure that better days are indeed ahead? I believe that the best is yet to come. Thank you for listening. Love and light from Israel. And let's not forget, Am Yisrael Chai is not just a slogan, it is a way of life.